Hi guys, popped into farm shop on the way home from work tonight. Thought I'd do an autumn themed paint with a few pastels. So look, we'll see what I bought in. Been driving past this place for the last week. I was going to work in Mayfield and I had to stop and get hold of some of these. These are just looking so gorgeous. Just look at that. Beautiful colours, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to get these down on paper. And also I'll be doing an oil with these as well, so look out for another video incorporating these same things. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, once I've given those a bit of a wash up and a clean in the sink, got them dry, I'm going to be playing about with some oil pastels. I did have a question on one of my other videos, do I ever use oil pastels, and it's very rare that I do. I did enjoy it when I did use them, but I'm going to give them another try. I've got to admit, not used them for quite a few years, so let's see what happens. That's the sketch done. I used Derwent chalk pastels, pencils for that. Today I'll be using oil pastels for the actual painting. Faber Castell, they're student grade. I'm not expecting anything too great from that because the blending properties aren't too brilliant. I'm using Clairefontaine pastel matte paper, see what they're like on that. It's already got quite a dark background, so that should be okay. Just love autumn, love painting this sort of scene. I've already done a little sketch in my sketchbook using the oil pastels, and that's how I know they don't blend all that well, but it could be the paper of this sketchbook, but that's what I'm basically aiming for, just to see how the oil pastels work, because I've not used them for so long. And well, a lot of people don't like them. I found them quite nice when I used them before, but we'll see. We'll have another go. I've not used it on this paper before, so it's a absolute experiment for me as well. So, well, I hope you enjoy it. Hope it works out okay. Not too sure what type of technique I'm going to use. Oh, wobbly board. But as I say, just a bit of a play. I did already have this board set out for another painting, as you can see, with the lines already on there, but they seem to go onto this paper really nice, actually. I'm quite impressed. By the looks of it, it could be a nice sketchy sketch of this. I try to do not too much blending. That's my initial thoughts at the moment, but you know what it's like. Things always change. These pumpkins, or gourds, or whatever they're called, some beautiful colours on them, lovely shapes. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you know that I usually use soft pastels, Unisons or Sennelier, or whatever brand I'm using at the time. And if you're wondering the difference between the soft pastels and these, they're completely different. It's like using watercolour and oils, basically. They're different, although they look quite similar to standard, you know, pastels. These are very different in the way they act, the way they blend, and the way you use them, basically. With these you can use a terps and put them, you know, use them as a little bit of an oil, but I wouldn't with the student grade, which is what these are, because I did experiment with that and it wasn't too good. So if you want to do that, I'd get some decent brand like Sennelier or somebody like that. I don't know if you heard that. That's my dog in the background telling people to stop walking past the house. Not a good thing to do, really, because we live opposite a pub and we're always getting people walk past the house. I'm using quite a gentle touch with these, because I found that if you press too hard and you fill the tooth up too quickly, it's an absolute pain trying to get any other colours on. So just beware, just use them very gingerly, very gently, and then you can overlay quite nicely. I haven't got a big range, I must admit. So getting the whole range of colours for these pumpkins is quite a challenge. This big one's a beautiful pumpkin. It's got some beautiful colours on it. We stopped off at a pick your own farm just on my way home from work. I've been working in Mayfield doing a little building, and we kept going past this place, and well, on the way home I said, right, let's stop. The way these oranges are coming through, or the pastel mat is coming through the colours, it really does look nice actually. We'll try to keep that as much as possible. It's a nice effect, I like that. I know everybody does the pumpkins and everybody does this, but when you get hold of a few and you start painting them from life, you can see why everybody does them. Apparently Pablo Picasso was the instigator of the oil pastel in 1940 odd, 1945, 1948, something like that. He went to Sennelier because he was after a painting medium that was easy to transport and was like in a dry form. And this is what Sennelier come up with, a form of oil pastels as we know them today. So really, you've got to thank Pablo Picasso for these. Not too sure how many of his paintings were done with it. I'm not a aficionado on Picasso, I must admit, but just an interesting fact. Autumn is my favourite time of year, I must admit, especially to go out painting. I try not to plein air paint during the summer because I'm not very good in the sun, and it just makes it for a miserable time, you know. So if I do go out plein air painting, it is this time of year, really, autumn, spring, more than anything else. So hopefully I'll get some videos of me going out and relearning how to paint outside, because I've not done it for quite a while, and you do seem to have to relearn if you haven't done something for a long time. You know, it doesn't stay with you really. The basics do, but your hand and your brain tells you, no, you've never done this before, and it makes you learn all over again, which isn't a bad thing really. And now COVID is starting to wane a little bit. A lot of the, you know, our club started to have meetings again, which is good. Be nice to see people I haven't seen for a long time. Hopefully we've got some fresh blood in the club, that'd be nice. I'm going to have to put some dark in around the background soon to actually give me my tones a bit better. Got to try to find a good dark in here though. It's not a set that's got too many darks, I must admit. Here's the set, and there's not too many darks at all really. So I've got to make something up out of something. That's not too bad. It is a black. Some people don't like people using black, but as long as you use another colour in with it, I can't see the problem. If black was a colour you shouldn't be using, they wouldn't produce it, in my opinion. I must admit, as long as you use it right, it should be okay. This is such a wobbly easel I'm using. I didn't film all of the scribbling in of the black because I thought, well, I'm just scribbling in black at the moment. That's not too interesting, so I've got rid of that. I'm putting some purple in now. Just to break up the black, as I say. So like it's okay to use black, although, you know, it's such a apparent controversy to use black. It is okay to use it, as I say, as long as you use another colour in with it, you know, it's fine. Try not to use it in shadows though, I must admit, you know, if you're doing plein air painting or anything like that. But Van der Zorn could use black in a artistic way. I'm sure anybody can, to tell the truth. I'm going to start something on the bottom there, sitting on an old suitcase that I found in an old barn that I was renovating. It's got some travel stickers on it. It's really nice. It is a really nice old suitcase. It's what I use when I do my demonstrations. I'll take my pastels out in that particular suitcase because you can fit everything in there. It's great. With the sketch that I've done in my sketchbook, I did use a palette knife to do all the scratching in there. It brings out some of the colours from underneath that's been laid on. I'll probably have a little go at that with this in a while, just to see how well that will go. I want to try to get a few lost edges as well if I can. This pumpkin has got some beautiful colours in it. I'm not doing it justice, I must admit. I highly recommend maybe joining a club, you know, especially for people like us that are amateur artists and that. It is nice to belong to a little club, and you know, you meet other people and you can discuss bits and pieces, and they have demonstrations and workshops and that, and it's worth going along to all of them, even if it's not a medium that you usually use. It's really worth going along just to play and find out what other mediums do, because you never know, you might find something that you're more geared towards. I think that's one of my problems. I try to use too many different mediums, and you know, some people say it's a bit of a hindrance, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm finding some of these colours, they go down really nice, and then there's other colours that it's a bit of a struggle. And you know, this is a good paper, good quality paper, so I can really only put it down to the actual pastel pigment. Being student quality, there's probably not a lot of pigment in there, to tell the truth. I think that's about it, really. Playing about. Let's take the tape off and let's see what it looks like. Well, with the finished product, it's not too bad, but I think I actually prefer my sketch, to tell the truth, with these. So it'll probably be something that I'll go out sketching with out in the field, to tell the truth. At the end of the video I'll put up a better picture of each of them so you can see them better. But yeah, not bad, quite enjoyed it, but as I say, I think I preferred the sketch as opposed to the actual painting. If that stops wobbling, you never know. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. It was a good afternoon's painting. Not used oil pastels for quite some time, and it was quite nice to use again. I did prefer my sketch rather than the full painting in the end, but I achieved what I wanted to achieve. Got some autumnal gourds or pumpkins, whatever you want to call them, whatever part of the world you come from. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. See you again soon. Bye bye.